Alright. Ladies and gentlemen, this young man is here to attempt our first burger challenge here at the Doghouse. Everybody can sit and watch. He wants you to. Root him on, cheer for him, whatever you got to do. Please and thank you. This is our signature Big Dog's burger here. We got our traditional onion rings, and then we got our famous dog balls that we make here ourselves here at the restaurant. And then we got a side order of our famous Doghouse fries. And then he has to wash it down with a half-a-gallon root beer float.
Man, this guy's serious.
I pulled to the rest area at the nighttime, but like right now you see the ice on the right side where I'm driving at, that is just, it's still got about an inch of ice right there. Before this, I mean, there were semi trucks turned sideways and like a 1 mile strip, probably about 20 cars. But I started taking videos, you know, and I've had more of this, you know, but I don't have room to keep putting them on here. But there was a FedEx truck here sideways. Man, the stuff to go through a challenge, people don't really see everything. But it was, ooh, look at those. All I need is one of those to make my life a little easier, a lot easier. Yeah, I'm here at the Doghouse. I'm in DeSoto, Missouri. I was planning on going to Highway 55 to do a challenge there, and I got a message here to come to try this out to kick it off. What it is, I'll have it in the description. It's more detailed, but pretty sure it's about 6.5 pounds total of the burger, condiments, cheese, and everything. But there's fries with it. I'm not sure, about a pound and a half, and then there's a half a gallon of root beer float, I believe. You get 45 minutes to eat it. If you eat it, the meal's free. You get a t-shirt and your name on the wall of fame. Let's try this out. I hope you guys ain't too squeamish on the eating thing. Hope they don't mess up y'all's meal. Yeah. Pull down now. You are, boss. 1, 2, 3.
12 minutes and 46 seconds and 6.5 pounds of food and a half-gallon root beer float.
And a pound of fries.
And a pound of French fries with cheese. Oh. Everybody get your hands together for me.
Hey, before I get to my garden in the back, I was doing some elephant bulbs from last year that I plant 2 on this side and 2 on the other side of the porch. In the middle, I had some purple like elephant ear grass or whatever you call it. I don't know the really technical name for it. I put a bale of hay over it and see if I can save it every year, and it just doesn't come out right the next year. So I'm just digging it up now, and I'm going to go ahead and put it in the bucket. It's just you try to save stuff all year. Like elephant ears, you're supposed to dig up the bulbs and put them in a dry like newspaper shreddings and put it in a bag in a dark place, and then the next year you take it out and plant it again. They go dormant. But like I said, this right here, I'm tired of messing with that elephant grass, so I pulled it out. And I'm going to plant 3 bulbs on each side instead of having the purple grass in the middle. What you want to do is plant these, and I'm going to show you in a minute which way to plant them. If you're not for sure which side, you can plant them sideways, and you get the best result instead of just picking 50-50 which way's up and which way's down. If you plant them sideways, then they'll grow up from either end and grow up. You want to plant this about 1 inch deep, but right now I'm looking at the bulb from last year that sometimes they make it. I don't dig them up. I just plant new ones. That one didn't make the cut. Whoops. So, got the bulb here. I'm going to show you. One end looks like a bullseye, and that's the end you want up. That end you want down. So, the bullseye right here, all the little patterns looks like a bullseye. You want that to be up in the air, and that end, the pointy end right there, to go down. Alright, just plant this like I said. Just put about 1 inch of soil over the top. I'm just gonna put the old mulch from last year right around it. I don't cover it up too much. And then once I call them helicopters, but the maple tree, once that tree, all the helicopters fall off after Mother's Day, that's about the time when they all fall. Then I go ahead and put mulch down. Because if you put mulch down before the helicopters fall down off the tree, you're going to have a big mess, and then you're going to have trees growing out of your mulch, and it's just not good at all. I've had it happen numerous times, so I know after Mother's Day, when all of them fall off the tree, it's ready to put new mulch down. Here's that maple tree in the front yard. I have one in the back that I trimmed down a lot so it didn't get all in the garden. I had to pluck them all. But this is what I think of this maple tree and the one in the backyard. There's a purple spot, squares on the front and the back of this limb, this trunk here. That is no trespassing. If you don't know the law, ignorance is no excuse for not knowing the law. There's another purple one there, and I'm just going to show you my little fake camera system that I put up when I first put this fence up, because I have a crazy neighbor over there, and that's another story in itself. I got this car amplifier, and I had hooked some wires up to the side of it, that some spark plug wires that looked like wires going up to the fake cameras, and had little blinking lights on the cameras. They're like $5 a piece, but that's just so she didn't mess that fence up and hang stuff on the back of it or mess it up. Decided to break out my Mexican hat. This is what I wear when I sell my produce on my produce stand. My neighbor had bought it for me. They see me outside in the garden all the time, so they thought it would be kind of funny to buy me that. And actually it caught on, and everybody knows me when they see me with that on. I guess not too many people wear it. A big sombrero around these parts. But I'm just showing you these connections that I have. I made that one for a 5-gallon bucket. These quick disconnects are called banjos, and you can thread on different adapters, what you need to do, you know, what you're working on. But this one that I'm putting on now is a water spigot, so I can put a water hose to it. I have another one on the other tote on top of the doghouse that I have for drip tubing, where I put drip tubing pieces on there and drip tube my tomato plant so I don't waste a lot of water. I also put tarps over these totes just for the sun, because if the sun hits this, algae will grow. But if algae grows in it, you can put apple cider vinegar in there and it'll help with the algae. Okay, and here's the pipe that's coming out of the guttering that's coming out of the gutter. I usually have that pipe, the black corrugated pipe, up there that goes into the rain barrels, but this time of the year I just divert the water out so it doesn't go in the barrels, and the barrels freeze in the wintertime. So this is my overflow that comes out the 8 55-gallon drums. That's right back here. I'll show you. It goes into the tube. That's the overflow. So when it gets too high, then it'll go ahead and come out this spout and divert the water. There's the connection in there, so it's about 6 inches from the top. But if it gets too much in there, it just diverts out instead of spilling over by the house. It's a mess right now, but this is the underneath manifold where I have all the pipes, and I'm gonna tell you now, from my experience, put them on piers about 4 foot up so you can work on them, because if this ever breaks, I have to take the whole thing apart and redo it, and I'm gonna go ahead and put them on piers so I can get to them better. But that's that system there that comes off the roof and into there. And this is the spigot that goes to my jet pump that I turn on to water the garden so I can get pressure to it. But that's the manifold down there, and I got a water spigot where I turn on, and that feeds into the jet pump where it sucks the water out of there. I'll show you that once I get everything hooked up, but it's a little too cold now, so I don't want it to freeze, but I'll show you that in detail later. And again, the next video, once I hook it up, I'll show you my lines that I run up that tree, and I have boards on there where I tie metal called plumber's tape onto the water hose, just like with this tree here too. I put a sprinkler on top of here as well, so it's up high. I put a sprinkler on the other tree, and I got sprinklers all around that I'll have hooked up to an irrigation system and a manifold. Usually it's about right here. I put the manifolds, and there's about eight different hoses, but it comes out of that jet pump housing that I put a hole there. The pump's inside that housing, but in detail, it doesn't look pretty back there, but once the year goes, once I start getting it hooked up, it'll look a little better back there once I start cleaning it up. And I really do enjoy gardening. That's one of my passions. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I really appreciate all the interest in the gardening. And I'll have more tips and stuff that I do to keep the garden going all year round. Thank you. T-shirts are finally in. The fronts have the logo on it. The backs have a great day unless you made other plans. I have them all the way from small to 5X for only $20. Look in the descriptions on the video and see how to make payments, and I will ship them out. Thank you. Hey, thanks for tuning in. I appreciate it if you subscribe to the page if you hadn't already. Click the notification bell to the right of that to be notified of upcoming videos. Hit the like button for me, and if you can, please share the video with your family and friends. Have a great day unless you made other plans.